Look guys, me, Kai, back in another video. Today we'll be ranking every U.S. president from George Washington to Joe Biden. Let's begin. Oh, and keep in mind, this is just my opinion, and we're going from our worst to best, not George Washington to Joe Biden. Let's go in 3, 2, 1.
Disappointment in the game of life.
And the worst president of all time is... This doesn't surprise my uncle or dad. Try and shorten this real quick. Should have never entered World War I. Espionage and sedition acts. Joining World War I for a stupid reason. I would go on, but this video would be like 2 days long, so let's go to number 44.
Come on. Do math.
James Buchanan did nothing to prevent this upcoming Civil War. We're moving on.
Oh no, he's hot!
2 words for Franklin Pierce. Bleeding Kansas, he did nothing to prevent it. He also enforced the Fugitive Slave Act.
Well, this sucks.
Oh, hi, I'm Andrew Johnson. I'm here to destroy Abraham Lincoln's legacy. Says that while getting impeached.
Crash and burn.
Uber Herber simply made the graduation worse. Shoot, Holly, terrifying.
To party. We like to party.
Warren G. Harding sucks because he was too corrupt and he likes scandals at the end.
Anyone who doesn't want to go to war is gay.
The reason this man on screen sucks is because of the war on terror and the war on Iraq, yeah. And now we're going on to the presidents that are not F tier anymore, yeah.
Your mom is dead. Do an order of pizza for dinner.
John Tyler. The reason I'm putting him in D tier is not because of his presidency, it's because of his post-presidency. The reason his post-presidency sucks is because when he was old, crusty, and lives on life support, he alleged like a Confederate States of America. Not only is he a ass president, he's also a traitor.
Attention, little people!
Millard Fillmore sucks because, he signed the Compromise of 1850, which basically was a causeless major one of the Civil War, major cause of it. Moving on. Look at that land. It looks amazing. I want that right now. Please give it to me right now. William McKinley sucks because of the Spanish-American War. The cause was stupid. The war was stupid. And the follow-up was stupid. Both Sleepy Joe and Orange Guy suck. And I, for some reason, cannot decide which is worse. I swear I cannot decide. They both have done good and bad things. So I just studied both of them, and who is worse? Trump is worse because he didn't fall down the stairs like Joe Biden. Boo. Oh no! The reason Richard Nixon sucks is because, dropping cancerous bombs on Vietnam and Cambodia, the war on drugs, and the Watergate scandal which caused him to resign.
Not when I shift into maximum overdrive. Hi-ya!
Lyndon Johnson. This guy's overrated as hell.
But hi, how about that civil rights thing you did?
Instead of that civil rights thing, that's actually pretty good. Let's talk about the bad. Handling of the Vietnam War was absolutely horrible. Plus, when he was in World War II, he claimed he saw 14 Zeros planes shot down, but it turns out he saw 0. Moving on. Who are you? Benjamin Harrison. The reason I do not like him is because he gave medals of honor to people who killed people in the Wounded Knee Massacre, and he raised tariffs.
Does everyone hate me?
John Adams. A few reasons I do not like him are XYZ affair. Oh, let's move on. By the way, we're getting out of the D tier presidents. We're going to the C tier presidents. And, Dad, I'm sorry for not putting FDR in bad tier. It's just my opinion, okay? Dad, that's your opinion, okay? I respect your opinion. Moving on.
Tourists of the White House were often confused if Old Whitey referred to the horse or President Taylor.
Zachary Taylor, who's a former hero in the Mexican-American War, was like the president in 1848, but died and was the second president to die in office after William Henry Harrison in 1850. I forgot what it was, but we're moving on. What did this man do? He's so forgettable. What the hell did Martin Van Buren do as president? I know he's president at one point. I know he has that hair, but still, what the hell did he do? I know he was vice president. What the hell? William Howard Taft is the most forgettable president of all time. Moving on.
I want to die.
Let me give a short summary of William Henry Harrison's presidency. Step 1. He wins a landslide victory in the 1840 election, gives a 2-hour-long inauguration speech, and a month later he fucking dies. The end. Moving on. Random ass jingle I made because I don't know what to put here. I literally have no idea what to say about Chester A. Arthur. Moving on, please. Just go.
6 months later.
James Garfield was assassinated, but it's not even remembered because he gets overshadowed by Lincoln and Kennedy's assassinations, and he died 6 months into his term. The end. Moving on.
Pleased to meet you. I just moved in. My name is Jerry Ford.
Gerald Ford is so freaking forgettable. Oh my god. The only thing I know he did as president is the Privacy Act thing he did. I forgot what it was, but oh well, just go. Nothing to say about John Quincy Adams and the fact he was son of John Adams. The end.
You're old.
I know y'all hate me for putting Jimmy Carter on an okay president here, but let me explain why I put him as an okay president. Number 1, he pardoned all Vietnam draft evaders. That's about it. All the other things were either decent or fine, I guess. Ernest handling his Iran hostage crisis, not oil crisis, but those aren't his fault. Moving on. He looks like a type person to take a nibble out of my sandwich if I were to leave it with him.
This is how I took my hobby of flying drones.
Barack Obama drone striked a bunch of Middle East nations. It was very bad. And Obamacare and oversaw killing of Osama bin Laden. Let's move on. Very short summary of Bill Clinton's presidency. Arkansas man has a scandal with someone named Monica Lewinsky. Okay guys, so now we're getting into the B tier president, like the good presidents, like the 7 out of 10s and higher. Let's go. Rutherford B. Hayes would be in C tier because he's so genuinely forgettable for everything else he did. But he did oversee the end of Reconstruction, which is nice, I guess. He did give 60% of Paraguay's current land, so that's it. Just gonna go to number 17.
What's your most controversial opinion?
I'm sorry to put your ears through that, but I get that Andrew Jackson is a very controversial figure, but he's actually a pretty good president. Listen, hear me out. I am not racist. Since his vice president and successor, Martin Van Buren, had a lot of the same views as Jackson, Martin Van Buren would have done a lot of the same things Jackson has done, so that's why I rank him pretty high, and also he paid off the national debt, which is great. He also allowed universal suffrage for voting. It changed from rich white men versus just white men. Yeah, I know that all that other shit's gonna happen in like at least 100 years, but who cares? Just go on.
Right now, who could they be? Listen, I know that silhouette anywhere. I can't believe they added Grover Cleveland.
The reason I put Cleveland at B tier instead of C tier is because he only signed a bill if it was constitutional, if imperialism and had small government policies. Let's go to number 15 now, please.
You should have been FDR.
Why?
Because of the, you know.
The wheelchair doesn't define me!
FDR is often ranked as the top 3 presidents of all time, but he isn't in my opinion. Here are my reasons. Reasons are, number 1, he put Japanese people in concentration camps. Despite the fact there was no evidence Japanese Americans or surviving to help Japan in the Second World War. 2, he and his administration repeatedly failed to let Jewish refugees in during the Holocaust. He did have a lot of achievements, so we're just gonna go to number 14.
In 1814, we took a little trip along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi.
James, the only memorable things about James Madison's presidency include the Constitution, which happened way before he was president, and the War of 1812, which went terribly. He was a solid leader, which why I rank him in B, so yay.
That one didn't age quite so well.
Once it's in summary, promise no new taxes, won election easily, vote for earthquake, raised taxes, for some reason he lied. Disabilities Act, lost a trumpet player. Guys, the moon landings were faked. JFK was very young when he was assassinated, but I'm just gonna get his presidency out of the way. Cuban Missile Crisis, Peace Corps, Yet Man on Moon. Now what I think of him? He's pretty good. Wow, I feel good. Stuff that happened in Venezuela's presidency, like talk about where the Missouri Compromise, which is kind of a bad idea. In the era of good feelings, which united the nation even more, he went unopposed in the 1820 election, and the Monroe Doctrine, which is a pretty good foreign policy. That's it. Now we're going to the top 10. The top 10 best, the elites. Let's go.
Oh, way down south in the land of traitors, rattlesnakes and alligators. Right away, come away, right away, come away.
We're not ranking his time as a Civil War general. We're ranking his time as president. The reason I put him in my top 10 is because he did a lot for civil rights. He allowed African Americans to serve on juries and didn't allow them to be discriminated in public transportation, and used the military to stop racial terrorism by the Ku Klux Klan, but Kavanaugh was corrupt. For example, his vice president, Schuyler Colfax, was involved in the credit mobilier scandal, which illegal manipulation of contracts by construction and finance company with the building of the Union Pacific Railroad.
Guns had hushed their thunder.
James K. Polk was the first and only president to finish all of his campaign promises. He got a lot of land for the U.S. because he got California, Oregon through the Mexican-American War. I know he dealed Oregon with Britain, but alright, and he's the only president to finish all his campaign promises. And he was the first dark horse president, meaning he wasn't well known at first, but he won the election, winning against Henry Clay. I wonder what a Henry Clay presidency would be like.
And yes, we will
Tear down this
wall.
Ronald Reagan had economic policies that helped the economy grow, but national debt spiraled out of control, but hey, at least helped the economy. He survived an assassination attempt. He was a big influence in the Soviet Union's fall and survived an assassination attempt. But the thing that brings him down for me is the Iran-Contra affair. Yep, the Iran-Contra affair, just look it up and you'll see why.
Bombs?
Man, the myth, the legend, Harry Truman. Like, the reasons I like him include, even though I don't approve of how he did, he ended World War II, desegregated the military, Marshall Plan, but his foreign policy sucked, and he did use some racist language. Not as much as Woodrow Wilson, though. Calvin Coolidge is probably the most underrated president ever. He was very apolitical, he cut taxes, plus he had a good strategy of doing literally nothing when the economy grew. Plus, let me tell a real story that happened. So, on count 219 and said, "Hey, I bet I can make you say 3 words," and Coolidge said, "You lose." Then he didn't say more than 2 words, the end. Now we're getting to the top 5.
I have no idea what to put here.
Famous World War II hero becomes president, shocker right now. He had quite a few accomplishments as president. He created the Interstate Highway, creating NASA, ending the Korean War, kind of complicated. Pouring the stream, Supreme Court decision, Brown v. Board of Education. Former Spanish-American war hero became president. Those are part of the reasons he's awesome. He made it so drugs cannot kill you, which is good. I don't want to die if I take freaking meds. Denounced the rich, expanded the national park system, and ended the Russo-Japanese War and won a Nobel Prize for it.
Yankee Doodle came to town a-riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni.
Former founding father and president, he wrote the first draft for the Declaration of Independence, seized the antipartisan, and eliminated the whiskey tax, which were all good.
Prepare for my civil rights beam.
So, you guys know Abraham Lincoln, right? American history. If you don't know anything about it, I'm going to say he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which freed all of the slaves. He had great leadership during the Civil War. Now on to the best president of all time, and that guy is... I don't even have to explain. He found this nation, set the 2-term president, did not have a political party, made it clear that the president was not a king. This is the end of the video. Here's the tier list. Bye.